Hello? Oh my gosh, welcome back. Thanks for being here. Thanks for coming back. I'm very excited. What is this? What is this glare? Dang it. Okay, we're gonna have to just move past that. So today we are going to be learning all about becoming a licensed veterinary technician. I am currently on my second quarter of this journey, and so I thought that it would be, well, it's fresh in my mind, or at least the beginning part is, I thought it would be good to go over what an LVT is, why I have chosen to go this route specifically. I just want to preface this by saying we're gonna title this part 1. This is just basics. This is just like step 1, 2, and 3. Okay, number 1. What is a licensed veterinary technician? Great question. I am gonna get flamed on the internet for saying this, but the easiest and most direct way that I can explain this to you is that it is a nurse for animals. Now, if you are a nurse, a human nurse, or an LVT, and you have a better way of explaining what it is, please drop a comment. Basically, you are the licensed veterinarian's right hand. There are some main things that no matter what position you're in as an LVT, you cannot do. So it'll be a lot easier if I just go over those things instead of naming every single thing that you could possibly do as an LVT. So because we're gonna go really broad, really general in this video, I'm sure in another video we will go over the difference between a veterinary technician and a veterinary technologist, specialties. We'll go over what you can do under what type of supervision and stuff like that. So we'll dive deeper later, but right now just know, no diagnosing, no surgeries, no prescribing, and you do whatever the DVM says. Okay, section 2 of this video is how to get started. Now that you know what an LVT is, if that's something that you're interested in doing or pursuing, this we'll say like these are like your first couple steps, which I recommend to get started. Also, this advice is only going to pertain to somebody in the US. That's where I am, the United States. I don't feel qualified or educated enough to speak on anybody outside of the US. So just prefacing that. The very first thing that you are going to want to do if you are interested in becoming an LVT is go to the AVMA website. I will have this linked down in the description. The AVMA is the American Veterinary Medical Association. They basically set the standard for veterinarians. They also accredit programs and schools throughout the country. And I think they also have a link for Canada in their website. So if you're in Canada and you want to check it out, feel free. So there are other schools and programs in the country that are not AVMA accredited. Maybe you do want to go there, but just know if you do decide to go to an unaccredited school, there will be significant hurdles for you to jump through to officially get licensed. It's going to be more expensive on the back end. You have additional tests and things that you will need to do after your program ends to prove that you've learned everything up to the AVMA's standard. And so you pick the state that you're in or the state you want to go to school, and then it will show you a list of schools in your area or in your state that are accredited. So once you find some options near you, I recommend, oh my gosh, my mother is here. I haven't seen her forever. She's a sweet lady. Did you see me? I don't think she's looking up here, but. So once you find some schools that are in your area, I recommend setting up a tour. I really, really recommend doing this. I almost skipped this step, and I had it in my mind that I was going to go to a certain school, and I did a lot of research online, and I was like, okay, yep, this is a school for me. I made a whole schedule. I did all this stuff. But then at the last second, I was like, well, let me just tour a couple of them. And I ended up choosing a completely different school because the vibe was so much better and the faculty I felt was better, and just it completely changed my situation, and I'm forever grateful that I took tours before I enrolled. This is something that I mean, I don't know if I'm gonna say it 100 times, but I'm gonna think it, and I'm gonna hope that you are thinking it and reminding yourself that this industry and this path is not one size fits all, okay? So what works for me is like not gonna work for you. And what works for my friends is not going to work for me. So in the theme, the fact that one size does not fit all, I want to just quickly touch on online. There is a program, Penn Foster, I believe that is the name of the program. And that's not something that was going to work for me. But if you are already established in a clinic, and that's a place you want to work long term, and you already have been there and you know everybody, I will say that doing an online program may be easier or work better for you. It's a little bit more self-paced, and they allow you to how many times am I going to say this? To check off your essential skills in your clinic. And so if you have a place that you feel really comfortable already, then online, being self-paced because you're already working 20 to 40 hours a week, you know everybody, you can do your essential skills there, like that may be a better option for you than an in-person school. Again, I don't know you. I don't know your vibe. I don't know your life. So I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, if you like have no experience at all and you've never worked in a vet practice at all, like me, like I've never spent time in a clinic ever in my whole life before this, I would suggest doing it in person, but do whatever feels right for you. Yeah, we'll get into my background a different time, maybe. I don't know, or in this video. I don't know. I don't know anything. Okay, we're recapping the steps one more time. 1, decide you want to be an LVT or figure out what an LVT is. Watch the first part of this video. 2, go to the AVMA website, find a vet tech or veterinarian or whatever school around you in the state that you want to work at or that you live at. 3, take a tour. Take a tour of it first or do online. Okay, amazing. So I just want to go over a little bit like some things that stood out to me or some reasons that I have chosen the program that I am in. Maybe some of these will resonate with you, or maybe these are things you haven't thought about, or maybe these are just recap, and all of that is okay. So reason number 1 is 90% of my instructors that are in my entire program are either licensed veterinarians or they are licensed LVTs, and everybody has insane experience, like 15, 20, 30, 40 years of experience in this industry already, and those are my instructors. Another big selling point for me was that I would get the opportunity to do clinic hours in association with my school. So every quarter that I'm in school, I go to a clinic that I'm assigned to once a week for like 6 or 7 hours. And every quarter, the place that I am assigned changes. And I kind of have a say in where I go, and like if I want to do emergency, if I want to do large animal, if I want to do exotics, like they take that into consideration. And I'm getting firsthand experience at these clinics. Also, at the end, my last quarter is an externship where I could go anywhere in the country, or I think some places out of the country too, and do like an unpaid internship for the entire summer somewhere before I take my exams and officially become licensed. So yeah, just unreal in the field experience with a lot of the pressure taken off, which is huge. Another selling point that I chose, about halfway through our program, if something happens where you cannot finish the program, but you get like the first 2 or 3 quarters done, you will leave with a veterinary assistance certificate. So you're not leaving with nothing. If you find out it's not for you or you have to leave for any reason, you are getting something from this program. The last big selling point for me for the program that I'm in is my program only accepts applications every other year or every third year. There's only 23 spots, and I'm with my cohort from the very beginning to the very end. Every single class we have together, our schedule is the exact same, our teachers are the exact same. We're literally together every single day for 2 years, and it's kind of a small classroom. And so I thought that that would be really awesome for friendship building and networking and just having like a real sense of community and being able to deepen those relationships over the years. Oh, the sun is like getting me. I'm gonna have to like scoot up so that the sun isn't in the middle of my face. Okay, we'll try to be quick. We're battling the elements. Not really. Okay, we're in the planning phase now. So this is where you go to your school's website, where you meet with your navigator and you go over everything that you need to do to get into this program. What your schedule is going to look like for the next couple of years. A lot of programs are multiple years long, so really planning out ahead. What does your week look like? What do your months look like? When do you have breaks? What's your commute, you know? So for me, again, I'll just use my firsthand experience because this is all that I really know, is so I had to have a high school diploma. I had to take multiple college prerequisite classes and get a minimum grade in each class. I think I had to get like above a C, which whatever. I had to get a rabies vaccine. I had to get a physical exam from my doctor. I had to get a required grade on the TEAS test. I had to get a background check. I had to get a drug test. I had to have proof of health insurance. And I had to attend like 3 or 4 orientations. And that was just to get to the point where I could be eligible to apply when they started taking applications. If you got all the way ready and you accomplished everything, then it was like just depended on what spot you got, and it was luck of the draw. So very grateful that I got in, but do some research. Be really mindful and organized, because I think that if I wasn't so motivated to get into this program, I think it would have been really, really easy for me to miss something that I needed to accomplish at a certain deadline. Okay, we're back. My computer stopped, or no, this is my camera. My camera stopped recording, but we're back, it's recording. We're gonna speed through the rest of it. I think that if I wasn't so like motivated to find clarity and to get answers and to make sure that everything was going to plan in order, then I probably would have missed something. And I tend to err on the side of overbearing. That's what works for me. That doesn't have to be your approach, but that is my approach, okay? I'm checking in, I'm calling, I'm setting up a meeting. Like, what are we doing? What's the next step? Like, I'm gonna call you in 5 minutes. Okay, so after we've done all of that and you've accomplished all your prerequisites and you get accepted, it's time to start. Why am I going through all this trouble, taking years to become a licensed veterinary technician in my overarching goal to work with wildlife and other species in general? Great question. Let's get into it. I think overall, this is amazing exposure to working with animals and wildlife, and it gives me an amazing base knowledge for most species. I feel like with having a licensed as a veterinary technician, my opportunities in all aspects of working with wildlife and nature, my probability of getting hired goes up. I will have set experience. I will have a specific license to show people. I will have a base knowledge, and it will put me ahead in wherever I decide that I want to go with this. Outside of the career space, it will help me be better, like a better caretaker of my own animals, my family's animals, my friends' animals. I am not somebody that is not going to have animals. I have had animals my entire life. we can get into it in a different video of some of the animals that I have had, but I truly don't see myself ever not having animals. And if this is a way for me to better take care of them my whole life, then I'm gonna do it. That's a priority to me. That's something that I want to be able to do. I want to be able to be the best owner and family member that I can for any animal that I choose to bring into my family. I have always picked careers based off of a skill that I want to learn. And I know that that's a really privileged way to be able to pick a career. And it has many drawbacks, but also it has perks. Like, I wanted to learn a lot more about my skin and how it works and how to get rid of my stage 4 cystic acne, which I had for many, many years. And so I became a master esthetician, and I wanted to learn about plants. So I got certified as an herbalist. I wanted to learn how to take care of my money, how to manage it, how to make it work for me. And so I spent 6 years in finance. And yeah, again, pros and cons to that approach. I think that's it. I think we did it. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me, having a little chat. And I can't wait to see you again. Or I can't wait to film again. Cause like, I'm not seeing you right now. I don't know if you know that. But anyway, I gotta get out of here.